friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here to talk a little bit about growing the einkorn wheat, but also a really important point that somebody brought out, a comment that was made on my Rumble channel on one of my videos. It's all pretty much the same videos, by the way, if you're only following me on YouTube. But Rumble has a few videos that YouTube does not, simply because there's certain topics I'm not allowed to talk about any longer on YouTube. So that was the main reason why I started Rumble, so I could have that second, place to put that kind of information. Every time a new rule is made and I have to delete old videos from here, they go over there. So I was talking in a recent video about growing the einkorn wheat and why I did it. And this isn't the total of what I grew, but it's most of it. It was just a small batch, as you can see. And the main purpose of me growing it, just a small patch, was first of all, to just as an experiment to see if it would even grow in our very cold, wet climate. And then also I have the ability to take the seed and save it. It's now going to be more acclimated to our area, which means I might get even better growth, even though it did pretty great anyway. And I can save that from year to year and grow more. And then if I ever get in a situation that I'm unable to get my grains, such as the hard white wheat and the barley, I at least know I can grow something that I can use to make my breads with. The thing is that I would then have to plot out another whole area at our other piece of property, till it up, and use that for planting the einkorn or the barley, because I am going to try barley, I think, this next year instead of doing the einkorn again. But anyway, this point that one of my followers brought up is that if everybody, obviously not everybody can do this, but obviously anyone who's able could grow at least a little bit of one of these ancient grains like this, then we're kind of protecting our future, our food for the future, because we know what's been going on with our food and all the changes. And like when we're talking about wheat-based products, a lot of the reasons people have gluten issues, not all the reasons, but a lot of the reasons people are sensitive to the gluten, it's more about the constant hybridization. I'm not even just talking about genetically modified, but the hybridization that has changed the wheats and other grains over time, where people are now far more sensitive. There's far more that's going on with the gut health than just that alone, but that's just one of the factors. And people who have found that they do better, that they've had to go gluten-free, when they've tried breads made with more ancient grains like the einkorn or the kamut, I think it's pronounced. There's some others that out there. I can't remember the name of them. Emmer is another one. I've tried that as well. I haven't tried growing it, but I've tried it. They find that they don't have those issues anymore. They can eat wheat breads as long as they're using the ancient grains for that. So I think it was an excellent idea to consider, if you even have just a small little patch, even if it's just a 2x2 patch, where you can grow some grains like this, some of the more ancient grains, where you can grow and then preserve that seed in its most natural form and in the way that it was meant to be. Now you've got seed that you can use for the future if you need it. And it's a good idea to maybe each year try a different grain. And then once you have a few to choose from, find out which ones do best for you, obviously, and then take that and then just keep growing a small batch every year, so you always have new seed coming in for that. You're not going to get enough to do much with off of that. The whole idea is about the seed right now. It's protecting those seeds and preserving them. Now, I would say this could apply to many other things, anything that you like to grow, or anything that maybe you're buying it from a local farmer or some other trusted source, be it your pumpkins, your cucumbers, your zucchini, your tomatoes, your peppers, your potatoes, and so on. I still think it's a good idea, if you have any space at all, even if you just have pots. Like tomatoes, you can grow some tomato plants in pots. And if you can do that, even if it's just one plant, at least now what you're doing is you're going to be protecting and preserving that seed for the future. So if you're ever in a position where you can or you have to start growing all these things, now you've got the seed, because there's no guarantee a few years from now that seed will be available to buy from other vendors. But if you've got your own seed put up, now you're ready. And it was just a different take on, we're always talking about, if you plan on gardening or you're preparing for the future, a lot of people will purchase seed and then save it for the future, if they have to garden, which, that's a place to start. But the thing is, without the practice, if you wait until you absolutely have to and you don't have the practice, it's going to be much harder than starting small by just growing a few things and learning about your climate as you go, learning about your soil conditions, and being better prepared to grow these things when you absolutely have to. So there's nothing wrong at all with having just a small garden, just a very small garden, or even just growing some herbs and things in pots, because every little bit you do, like I'm always saying, every little bit is something. And too often we get people they're so pushy and demanding about what you should be doing without realizing that a lot of what happens is it kind of pushes and scares people into thinking they got to take everything on all at once. And that can be so daunting that a lot of people I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the physical abilities. I don't have the space, without focusing on the fact that there's always a place anyone can start, no matter the shape that they're in, no matter where they live. Because even if you at least just can grow in a windowsill something, that is a place to start. Like, I have one of my followers, she's been following me for a good number of years. And when she first started following me, she lived in an apartment. All she had was a little balcony. She at least had the balcony, and she would grow as much as she could in pots on that balcony. Now, could she get enough food to survive off for a whole year? I kind of doubt it, but she got something. And guess what? She got, that was the most important. She got an education in that process. And everything is valuable. So even if you don't get a successful harvest of anything, you've gleaned an education, and that is important too. That's probably the most important thing when you're first getting into trying to grow some of your own produce. And you never ever, this is a realization everybody needs to come to, you're never going to get to a point where you know how to grow everything there is to grow in your set area. But as in the case of this follower, she started there, that then later when she moved to Israel and she had a nice big area to grow in, she had a great base to get started with, a great knowledge. Now she's in the process of expanding her knowledge and learning more about how to work with the land that she has, the climate that she has, and the space that she has, and making the most of everything that she does, and learning how to make the most of the water that she's got. And it's so encouraging to me when I was reading her story about this. So you just remember, you don't have to go into any of this being an expert. You just got to get started. You learn as you go, and being able to at least preserve seed for your future and your future generations is a really excellent way to get started and to even just look at why it is a good idea to even do anything at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please share your thoughts and ideas and comments down below so that people can glean some more great information from you as well. And also, I just want to hear your feedback to this, because I really liked this take on it, and I really appreciate the person that shared that on Rumble. And yeah, we can all learn from each other, and that's why I really encourage good, thoughtful comments within the comment section, on top of the fact that it does help boost these videos like this in the algorithm so it can get out there so more people can learn and grow as well. So thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.